Hey guys, it's Tingle, and today I want to do a video themed around my favorite video game of all time, which is Mass Effect, the Mass Effect series. If you've been here for over 2 years, then you might know that my very first video was me rambling about Mass Effect. It's always been, well, my all-time favorite video games, and I just love everything about it. Recently I've been replaying the game a couple times in a row, because that's me, and I had the idea to do a couple of Mass Effect inspired things. I'm going to be working on a video where I talk about the universe in depth, and I also did a bit of a synopsis of the first video game for people who want to jump in at the second game. It's all going to be in ASMR style, and I'm pretty excited about that for sure. But today we're going to keep it rather simple and do some show and tell and tapping on some Mass Effect items. So, as you also might know, I collect Funko Pops, and I have been collecting them for a long time, and I have quite a few. And until a couple months ago, I only had 2 Mass Effect Funko Pops, and suddenly I decided I wanted the rest as well. But then I found out they were retired, so I had to scour the internet for these Funko Pops, and I ended up getting a couple good deals. But the last one was really expensive, and I talked about this in a live stream of some sort, and it turned out that a couple of you guys conspired to send in donations for me to buy the last pop that I needed. As I've mentioned before, you guys are insane, and yeah, I got it in today, so I'm going to be showing you all of the pops that I have, and do some tapping and some rambling, so yeah, I hope you enjoy. So, the first 2 pops that I have, they're unboxed. I tend to unbox my Funko Pops because I feel like it's easier to show them off like that, and ultimately the box is just a piece of cardboard, and I don't care about like if a toy has like value after I own it, because I just, it's my toy, and I'm not going to sell it afterwards probably, so yeah. So the first one that I have is Miranda Lawson from Mass Effect, obviously. She is a character from the second game. She is a Cerberus agent, or operative is probably a better word. And for the remainder of the second game, she is your EXO. She has perfect genetics. She is completely, genetically altered to be perfect, basically, by her father, Henry Lawson. As you can see, she has, very nice features. Just something that you can see in-game as well, with many of the cutscenes hovering a little too long on her ass. I really like Miranda quite a lot. One of the other characters refers to her as Cerberus cheerleader, which is quite funny. But despite her perfect looks, and she also comes across as a little bit arrogant, she hasn't had it easy. She's had a lot of strife in her life and an unpleasant past that she still has to deal with. And during the games, she changes a lot as a person. Love the characters do, really. But yeah. Miranda Lawson. She is her voice actress, and I'm gonna butcher her name. Yvonne Strahovski is her voice actress and her the model for her face. And she is an Australian voice actress, so she has an Australian accent, but it's not extremely pronounced. But the actress, Yvonne, is very pretty as well. The only difference is that Yvonne is blonde, whereas Miranda is brunette, even though Miranda was supposed to be a blonde originally, but they changed it. Anyway, let's do some tapping. I really like her outfits. Can't see it very well here, but it's a white catsuit with black aspects to it. And it has the Cerberus logo on her chest. The material is made from interlocking hexagons of fabric. It's very nice. There are in total 5 Funko Pops made for the Mass Effect series, and I wish they would have done more. Because there's so many amazing characters in Mass Effect. And I had hoped they would come out with more come Mass Effect 3, but they haven't. So I think that if we're gonna see more Mass Effect Funko Pops, it will be for Mass Effect Andromeda, which is gonna come out in May of 2017. Okay. So yeah, Miranda Lawson. So next on, we have my absolute favorite character of Mass Effect, and also the world's, and he's also my ultimate husband, space husband, Garrus. I love him so much. Okay, calm down, Lisa. So, you meet Garrus in the first game. You are tasked to bring down Saren Arturius, and Garrus works on Citadel in Citadel Security, also known as CSEC. He's a young Turian officer. Turian is a species of aliens. As you can see, he's not entirely human. And he is doing investigations in this Saren, so he joins up with you to take him down. And he's just perfect. Everything about him is perfect. Where to begin? So you meet him again in the second game, and he's also in the third game, all as squad mates. And in the second game, you can pursue a romance with him. He's one of the love interests, and everything about it is just amazing. He is so sweet and genuine and honest, and quite a bit awkward as well, especially in the beginning. But he's just he's amazing, and he's very protective, and he loves you very much, and he admires Shepard so much. But especially in the third game, their romance becomes a very equal. They really have a very healthy relationship. I don't know why I'm so flustered. I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, he is a Turian, and Turians have a very military society. Basically, their society is based on ancient Romans, and they've been part of galactic society for a long time, even before the humans mastered faster than light's space travel. And when the humans try to open up a dormant mass relay, they encountered a Turian. And activating dormant mass relays is illegal. The humans obviously didn't know that because they'd never encountered aliens before. So what happens is the aliens attack the humans, and they take over one of their colonies on Shang-Chi. And so the humans retaliate, and they take back the colony and also completely destroy all the Turians that were, holding Shang-Chi. So after that, both the humans and the Turians prepared for full-out war. But then the Citadel Council stepped in, and, a diplomatic solution was reached. And the Turians were forced to pay a lot of reparations to the humans, because the humans didn't know about these laws, that they couldn't open these mass relays, right? So, and when Mass Effect 1 starts, this is only like 26 years ago or something, so it's like really fresh. So relationships between Turians and humans are still a little bit raw, but Garrus and Shepard seem to get on just fine. But yeah, there's just something about him. He's a really good sniper. As you can see, he's good at his rifle. And he also has his trademark, like, a visor that he always wears. And he has blue face paint and a scar on the sides. He still wears the blue and black CSEC officer outfit, armor rather. I don't know why I am in love with this, like, avian slash cat, like, alien. I don't know, but he's just really charming for some reason. Yeah, they're perfect. The Turians, that is, and especially Garrus. Okay, so these are the ones I have out of the box, and the other ones I still have in the box. So wasn't sure if I was gonna get it because I don't play male shepherd, but I had to complete the set, you know, so personally I only play female shepherd because I think that's canon for me, you know, like shepherd is just a badass female. But I do love the can't really see it too well, but it's got N7 armor. Let's see, you can see that image. You can see the N7 armor logo, or well, just N7 logo, and then the stripe on the side. And I actually have a sweater with this design, kind of with the logo and the arm thing. And you can also see this Omnitool. And an Omnitool is basically like a sort of like a handheld device that you can use to manipulate all sorts of things. Like, it's kind of like it replaces like a phone. You just use it for everything ever, to access files, to download stuff, to, you know, remote access, and to hack stuff and whatever. And you can also form it into like a hard light blade or something like that. You can stab people with it. So yeah, this is based on the default male commander shepherd called John Shepherd, and the face model, or the model that the character was based upon back in Mass Effect 1, is a Dutch model called Vanderloo, and just his face, you know, is completely modeled in game, and that's like the default shepherd. There wasn't a default female shepherd for the first 2 games, but in the 3rd game they did come up with a default shepherd, female shepherd. But I still prefer creating my own custom female shepherds. And yeah, I play female Paragon, which you can choose to you have Paragon and Renegade actions, and Paragon are generally you know, by the book, by the rules, you know, being kind, comforting, understanding, and Renegade leans more towards like a ruthless behavior, you know, playing loosely with the law, you know, like leaving hostages if it would mean they could kill like a criminal, stuff like that. It's not necessarily good or bad, but it's, you know, there's a difference. So yeah, I played Paragon, which is, you know, the good shepherd. It's really hard for me to be like a dick to everyone. In general, in video games, I always go to light side, so to speak. It's goody two shoes. I just had to get this one just to collect the set, you know. Like I said, I do love the M7 armor a lot. Gosh, I wish just, you know, having them in my hands again now, I just wish there was, I just wish they had like Funko Pops for all the characters ever. I would buy them all in a heartbeat, all of them at the same time. Or just, you know, live on like water and bread for like a couple months if I had to. to the last two. So this one I bought a couple weeks ago, and I bought it from a seller in Canada, and it took a long time to get here, but here it is. Grunt is one of my favorite characters, but I feel it was a strange choice to make him into a Funko Pop, but who am I to judge? Grunt is awesome. Grunt is a Grogan, which is a race that's rather reptilian. They kind of like are these like big hulking aliens, and they resemble like kind of bats and reptiles or crocodiles, something like that. They're very big and strong. And grunts you actually encounter in a lab of sorts. The Grogan, they are a broken species of sorts. They were uplifted, thousands of years ago by the Solarians, who were at war with the Rachni, a bug-like sentient creature, and they needed the Grogan for their brute strength. The Grogan at this time were just recovering from a self-inflicted nuclear winter. So they culturally uplifted the Grogan and gave them access, to advanced technology. And the Grogan were used by the Solarian to defeat the Rachni, which they succeeded in, because of the Grogan's adaptability to toxic and hazardous environments. They were able to survive on the Rachni homeworlds and destroy them completely, and they exterminated them utterly. After this, as a reward, the Grogan were given colony worlds, but because of their crazy, they breed really fast, and with all these new colonies and relative safety and stuff, their numbers just exploded, and they started, their whole culture was based on war and warring factions, and just expanding their clans. So they started colonizing worlds that were already colonized, and this led eventually to the Grogan rebellions. And they had to do something. So the Solarians and Turians, the Turians had just joined the Galactic Society at this point, devised something called the Genophage, which basically makes sure that only 1 in 1,000 Grogan, births are viable. Like only 1 in 1,000 is not a stillborn, which is very, rough, obviously. And they deployed this on their planet, and every Grogan alive today is pretty much like almost sterile. And that really put a stop to the Grogan rebellions fast, because their numbers were dropping rapidly, and they could not, keep up anymore because of the breeding. So yeah, there have been many attempts to cure this genophage. But anyway, this Grogan scientist was trying to build the perfect Grogan. And he succeeded in a way. And he made Grunt. So Grunt, when you meet him, he's only, he's just basically born, but he's born from a tank, and he's imprinted with all these memories of Grogan warlords. But physically, he's basically like a teenager in puberty. And there's something oddly endearing about this guy. He's like your big Grogan son in games. I love the Grogan personally. lastly, the reason that I'm making this video is the last pop that I'm going to show you. And this one I got in the mail today, and I just want to give a massive, massive thank you for everyone that made this possible. Thank you so much. It's way too much, as you guys know, but I appreciate it so much. I'm so happy to have completed the set. So, this is Tali Zora. She has a lot of different names, but she starts off as Tali Zora Naraya and ends up being called Tali Zora thus normally. And this one was very hard to get, but I'm so happy that I have it now. You can see the box actually comes in a pop protector, which is like an extra layer of plastic to keep it safe, which just makes things a little bit more reflective, I guess. So, Tali Zora, she is a Quarian, and a Quarian are a race of organic aliens, but they have to live in a suit because of their weakened immune system. So, a long time ago, the Quarians lived on their homeworld of Rannoch, and they were able to live without suits. But they created the Geth, a synthetic race that they originally created, for cheap labor, basically. But the way they programmed the synthetic beings, the Geth, eventually they were able to link their conscious together in massive networks and improve their intelligence like that. And it didn't take too long for the Geth to achieve sentience. And they had evolved into true AI status. And when the Quarians realized that they were basically using a sentient synthetic race, for labor, which is obviously something they couldn't get away with, they tried to shut them all down and kill them all. The Geth obviously resisted, as any sentient race would, and eventually the Quarian had to abandon their homeworld, with most of them killed in the morning war against the Geth. They took whatever ships they had and fled. Eventually, this group of ships evolved into something called the Migrant Fleets, which is where all Quarian live. Because of the way their race, like their planet, and their life came to be, they already had a very weak immune system to begin with, but it was fine on their home planet. But out in the universe, living on their spaceships, a common cold could easily kill them. So they had to adapt to life in suits, environmental suits. Nobody really knows what they look like underneath. And you can see what she looks like here. I really like the Quarian a lot. And Tali is very sweet. You meet her when she's on her pilgrimage. And all young Quarian go on a pilgrimage where they leave the fleet and they go out into the universe, and they only come back after they found something useful to present to the captain of the ship that they want to, live on when they get back. They present, this as a gift, as something useful to show off that they're capable of doing what needs to be done for the well-being of the ship. It's like a rite of passage of sorts. And Tali is on hers when you meet her. And she's trying to broker a deal with the shadow broker concerning some information that Saren has. This information is very useful to Shepard, so they save her, and she joins on Shepard's crew. She is also in all of the video games, 1, 2, and 3. And just like Garrus, she's also a romance option in the second game and the third game. And if you do romance her, she gives you a picture of herself without her suit on of her face. But many people see this as a bit of a cop-out, as it's just a photoshopped stock image. A lot of people really do like her voice being included. Most Korean, not all, but a lot of them, have a slightly Eastern European accent. Most Russian, and a bit Russian, I guess. Definitely exotic. So yeah, I'm super happy to have this little suit rat on my team. Tali is amazing. I've never romanced her, so I've never played a male shepherd, but there's something about her. She's like, together with Liara, she is my female shepherd's best girlfriend, like BFFs. Also, she has great hips. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy with my collection being complete now, and I have you guys to thank for it, so thank you so very much. And I hope you enjoyed me rambling about my favorite game and my favorite characters, and maybe even learned something about Mass Effect. Yeah, so